How to rotate your duct in PractiCAD along the X, Y, and Z axes. PractiCAD allows you to rotate your duct in any direction across the X, Y, and Z plane at any time while you're drafting. In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to rotate along the Z, the X, and the Y. The first thing we must do is go to the fitting box and select a bin. I'm going to click on the rectangular duct icon. Notice as I move my mouse in a circle, the PractiCAD has the duct following the crosshairs. Also pay close attention to the command line. Your command line is always telling you exactly what option you're currently on. Notice that PractiCAD is listing to place the fitting down by continue, tap, or rotation. There are tutorials on all three options. This tutorial is focusing on rotation. The first thing we're going to do is teach you to rotate along the Z-axis. To rotate along the Z-axis, we must first pick a point on the screen we'd like to pivot this duct from. In other words, I'm going to click right now. Then I'm going to move my mouse in a circle. Notice that the duct is pivoting along exactly where the crosshairs were and where I placed the duct down. Also notice in the command line that PractiCAD is first telling us how we're rotating this duct. It says specify rotation around Z-axis or plan view. To place it down in the Z-axis, all I need to do now is either use my sight to eyeball exactly the angle we'd like to use, and polar, which I have checked right here, makes this much easier. You can see I have a polar vector which says 0 degrees, one that says 45, and one that says 90. However, instead of eyeballing it and saying place here, I could also type in the angle I'd like to use. For example, if I'd like to say make this at 45 degrees, I could say 45 in the command line and then hit enter, and PractiCAD will now lock this fitting down at a 45-degree angle to the drawing. Notice that the duct has not been placed down yet. The last thing you will see before you go to place down duct is the options for routing. Notice the command line says specify method of placement, new, piece, exact, up, down, single, and smart. These are your routing options. They're the last thing you see before you're one click away from placing the duct on the drawing. Once I've selected the proper option, and I'm going to leave it as piece the way it's set currently, I click one more time. At this moment, you're going to notice that first, the duct will usually change color because it's going to a designated layer, and two, that another fitting will be waiting in the crosshairs. This is a good indicator you've placed down duct. Also, if you have auto tagging set, you'll see your auto tags.